Noelle now. Today I'm going to talk about the book called Persepolis that was written by Margin Satrapi. My presentation is divided in three parts. The first one is the introduction, the second one is about the chapters in the book, and the third one is related to the characters. Margin Satrapi was born in around the 22nd of November of 1969. Her parents were Marxists. She was very close to her uncle, but he got executed. In 1983, she went to Vienna to study, and she came back to Iran and studied communication. She lives in Paris with her husband. She speaks 6 languages, and she's famous because of her autobiographical graphic novels. The book starts with the beginning of the Persian Empire. Then it gives an overall perspective of the historical background of the book, of the period when the book was written. It also gives some hints of important terms like fundamentalism, fanatism, and terrorism. And now I'm going to talk about the chapters. The first one is the veil, which gives an impression in general of the pros and cons regarding the veil. And this part is like they divided schools, and schools for boys and for girls. The second one is the bicycle, that compares the revolution with a bicycle. The third chapter which is called the water cell. Basically, it mentions that her grandfather was a prisoner and the reason for being in jail. And she was very sad because nobody told her about this situation. The fourth chapter is named Persepolis. Her grandma lived in poverty when she was younger. She made clothes out of leftover. Finally, a revolution started, and her father was late for dinner, so they thought he was dead. The title of the fifth chapter is The Letter. It teaches us the difference between social classes, and it talks about Marie that's their mate. She went to live with them at the age of 8, and she didn't know how to read or write. She was like a sister to Margin. Her fiancé was their neighbor that lived right next door, and they wrote letters to each other, but Margin's father broke their relationship up. The next chapter is the party. Is when the Shah left, and many people were killed during this time. But Egypt accepted the Shah and the Shah's family, and Ramir's father killed communists. So was one of Margin's friends. The last chapter is the heroes. Is when the prisoners were liberated, like they were politicians. Margin told Lali that her father was dead. They were tortured, pull out their nails with electric cables, cigarettes, or on bags. Now I'm going to talk about the characters on the book. There is Margin's mother, her grandma used to knit a lot. Margin's father, he took pictures of the revolution. Margin, she's the main character. She wanted to be a prophet and she likes to read. Mary was their maid. He was an illustrator. Her grandpa was a prisoner and killed. And the other characters are the Shah, Margin's friends, and the friends of Margin's parents, Siamak Jari, Monse Shabik. They were prisoners and tortured. And Lale, Siamak's daughter.